In Venezuela, Latin American leaders recall the validity of the ideas of Commander Hugo Chavez 10 years after his physical disappearance. In Indonesia, a landslide caused by torrential rain killed at least 11 people and left thousands of others missing in Natuna Regency Island. And in the Israeli municipality of West Jerusalem, local authorities demolished 3 houses in the Wadi al-Juz neighborhood in occupied East Jerusalem under the pretext of constructing without a permit. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We begin with the news. Stay with us. In Venezuela, Latin American leaders recall the validity of the ideas of Commander Hugo Chavez 10 years after his physical disappearance. Several Latin American leaders highlighted the work of Commander Hugo Chavez and his legacy at closing of the World Meeting for the Validity of Chavez Bolivarian Thoughts. This event was held at the Teresa Carreño Theater and headed by President Nicolás Maduro Moros. Among the leaders who went to the ceremony were the former presidents of Ecuador, Rafael Correa, and Bolivia, Evo Morales, as well as the former president of Honduras, Manuel Zelaya. In their speeches, they emphasized that the revolutionary leader's ideas and legacy remain valid and alive 10 years after he died. The meeting, which began on Friday and rolled out until Sunday, brought together more than 100 intellectuals from 60 countries and all continents. On Monday, the President of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, called on Mexicans to folk the Zócalo Square, one of the main venues in the capital city, on March 18th to celebrate the 85th anniversary of the nationalization of oil. In his morning press conference, López Obrador explained that this is an open invitation to all Mexicans as part of a celebration of the primal movements of the country's history. He urged citizens to remember that the revolution not only because it was fought against the dictatorship of Porfirio Díaz, but also because it confronted foreign capitals and those who oppose the popular policy of President Lázaro Cárdenas. The government of Colombia and the communities of Los Pozos in the department of Caquetá agree on a roadmap for the end of the protests. The document candidates the parties for preventing social conditions in the region and avoiding new confrontations which the company and rural energy. Among the points highlighted in the text were there is the creation of a Mixed Human Rights Commission that will be responsible for the analysis and monitoring of current cases against campesinos and social organizations in the area. The Chilean Commission of Experts in charge of the preliminary draft of the Constitution has led its board of director Amani. Veronica Undurraga from the Partido por la Democracia and who belongs to one of the two government's coalitions was elected president, while the vice presidency was held by Sebastián Sotomayor from the opposing right-wing Evopoli party. The 24 members commission will have 3 months to present a draft to the Constitutional Council, which will begin work on June the 7th. The setup of the commission takes place 6 months after the citizens rejected a previous constitutional proposal intended to replace the one implemented during the dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. In Peru, relatives of 2 dead soldiers and 5 other missing in river on Sunday are demanding news of their loved ones from the military authorities. The soldiers were reportedly fleeing from a group of anti-government protests in the southern Andean region of Puno and had been forced to cross the river to avoid a bridge taken over by the demonstrators. The Ministry of Defense said soldiers were trying to provide support to the military actions in Puno and had been forced by radicals to abandon the ship. However, the surviving soldiers and rescuers said they were forced to go on the boat by their supporters, by the superiors, my pardon.
You see, this is an abuse to the people's children. They have served where the commander is. Why didn't the commander cross the river first? Why didn't he lead the people? It is not possible to be abused that way.
11 community members who rescued military, including relatives of the survivors who did help and of those who disappeared, rejected the confrontations, and both fighting sides are the brothers in their court.
Our brothers are from the countryside. These soldiers, they are here because the commander sends them. The major sends them. Those are our sons. Why do they have to face us? No, those are our sons. Why should they face us with our sons? The Major Commander Dinergo Alberti, how many millions has he paid to kill us? That's all I want to say because right now my nephew is here.
On Monday, United Nations experts call on Peru's government to end repressive actions against protesters that result in killings, arrests, and arbitrary detentions. In a statement, the multilateral organization underlined its concern regarding the serious allegations of excessive and disproportionate police violence and the Peruvian government's inability in engage in dialogue. The demonstrators demand an end to the militarization of Puno and the cessation of the use of excessive force by soldiers against those demanding the resignation of Boluarte, the closure of Congress, the advancement of the elections, and the convening of the Constituent Assembly. Let's take a very short break now, but remember, you can now follow us on our TikTok account, teleSUR English, in which you will be able to see news in different formats, news updates, and more. Stay tuned for more news. Welcome back to From the South. Great authorities ordered this Monday that the head of the train station in the city of Larissa, Valerie Samara, remain in custody and awaiting trial following the accident that claimed the life of 57 passengers. Samara's lawyer, Stefanos Pantrosotis, said that the defendant appeared on Sunday for more than 7 hours to give his version that happened, after which he was transferred to the prison where he will remain until the start of the trial, according to the India Daily. Pastrades stressed that the decision was adopted unanimously and stressed that it was feasible due to the importance of the case and the responsibility. Samara's appearance took place on a date in which clashes were recorded during a demonstration protesting the response of the authorities to the train accident. On Monday, one person was injured by the shrapnel after 3 missiles fell in the province of Belgorod in Russia. Their defense system was activated and intercepted and shot down the 3 missiles in the municipality of Novi Oskol. The governor of Vyacheslav Gladel confirmed damage to the area and to the power supply due to the impact of the rockets, as well as one citizen was injured in an arm. Several water regions have reported recurrent human and material damage due to similar events since the beginning of the special military operation. On Monday, Estonia's electoral body confirmed the victory of the ruling reform body. The center-right group led by Prime Minister Kaja Kallas won 31.6% of the votes compared to 16% of the far-right EKA party, which pushed the center-left party into third and fourth place, respectively. Referring to the results, the premier assured that figures exceed exceptions. The winning formation is a liberal force, which, among others, campaign provinces propose a 3% increase in military spending. In Indonesia, landslide has by torrential rains on Monday killed at least 11 people and left thousands of others missing in the Tatuna Regency Island. National Disaster Mitigation Agency's spokesperson Abdul Mahari said tons of mud fell from surrounding hills into homes in the island's surrounding village. Rescuers have recovered so far at least 11 bodies, and authorities fear that the death toll will rise. The head of the emergency relief operation said thousands of soldiers, police, and volunteers have joined the search and downed communications lines, and bad weather were hampering the rescue efforts. In Malaysia, more than 53,000 people have been evacuated from several provinces due to heavy flooding in the country. General Province is one of the most affected. There, at least 49,000 people went to temporary aid centers. In Fagan and Melaka, approximately 6,600 people have been relocated to safe spots. In the last hours, the water flood is decreasing, and some clearing workers are already being carried out. Local media in Bangladesh report more than 2,000 shelters were destroyed and nearly 12,000 people affected by major fire in the Cox's Bazar Rohingya refugee camp. Representative of the United Nations Refugee Agency in Bangladesh said that the fire originated in Camp 11 in Kutupalan, one of the largest refugee settlements in the world, but it was brought under control within hours without causing fatalities. Refugee Commissioner Mayuna Rahama said the incident destroyed or damaged 2,000 shelters, 90 hospitals and educational facilities, and 35 mosques, leaving more than 12,000 Rohingya refugees without their belongings.
A massive fire has broken out here, and it's spreading quickly due to the wind. We have somehow saved our lives by crossing the barbed wire fences.
I don't know how the fire started. Poultry, houses and clothes have been burnt. I couldn't take anything out of the house. I just looked for shelter to save my children.
teleSUR English continues to grow. You can now tune in from 33 different African countries through SARDA-SAT. Dial 461 and join our Latin American alternative broadcast. One final short break and we'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. On Monday, the Israeli municipality of West Jerusalem demolished 3 homes in the Wadi al-Juz neighborhood in the occupied East Jerusalem under the pretext of construction without a permit. According to local sources, military reinforcements from the occupation forces stormed the neighborhood, cordoned off the area, and ordered the 20 residents of 2 houses occupied by the Torah family to evacuate them in preparation for demolition. The owner of one of the homes told the press that Israeli municipality had demolished a number of the family's homes in the same area since 2015.
They are trying to exterminate everything that is Arab on Palestinian land. every Arab feature, just like what is happening here. We can see that they executed demolitions in this place and even uprooted trees that show the Arabism of the land. We want to say to this government that you can demolish homes, but you will not be able to take away our love for our land and our connection to it.
The president of Iran, Sayyid Ibrahim Raisi, called the positioning of students in his country a crime of humanity. The head of state called for a serious follow-up of the case about all the institutions in the area and that the result of the investigations be released as soon as possible to the Iranian people. Western media and diplomats start almost simultaneously a new terror campaign against Iran, seeming a series of situations without any concluding results. The first poisoning were reported in November. Thousands of students had to be hospitalized. The Ministry of Education generated a protocol to deal with the emergency.
First, if a similar event occurs, teachers should help students to leave the classroom immediately. Secondly, if a student feels unwell, he or she should be sent to a medical center with a special protocol. On the other hand, students should be careful that no one puts suspicious things in their backpacks while they go to school.
In Pakistan, at least 10 people were killed on Monday, including 9 police officers, by a suicide attack. The event occurred when a bomber blew himself up near a police van in Pakistan. The explosion occurred in the Khyber Bridge in the area bordering the district of Sidi and Kishi in the provinces of Balochistan, and also left 14 wounded. So far, no group or organizations has claimed responsibility for the attack. The event was roundly condemned by the head of the Balochistan government, Abdul Quiz Bendion. In recent months, there has been an increase in terrorist activities against the Pakistani security forces. Dozens of demonstrators protested in the capital of the Democratic Republic of the Congo against the visit of the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, during his official tour in southern African countries. According to the official sources, the demonstrators repressed by the security forces rejected Macron's visit, aims at renewed sentiment against the colonial and forceful policies implemented by the European state. The protesters also criticized the support of the French government to the army of neighboring Rwanda, which the authorities of this territory has of supporting the insurgent March 23 movement operating in the east of the country. During a meeting with French President Macron held in Kinshasa, Félix Tshisekedi, the president of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, said that the French president have a new vision regarding the relations between both countries.
The relations between the two countries are in good state, and after the discussion that we have had, I can say that we have laid the foundations for even more important cooperation. The president outlined the main lines of his new vision for the French Republic in Africa.
In addition, he also stated that the French needs to abide by the desire of African people.
If France wants to be in competition with all the other partners of Africa today, it must put itself on the African political map in terms of what the African people want and how the African people see their partners in cooperation and development relationships.
And we have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also use us on our socials, more on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram as well. For TeleSUR English, I'm from the South, I'm Ana Marrero, and thank you for watching.